Hello, everybody. Welcome to Championship Matchweek 42 predictions. You may see that I'm on a different angle. I may sound different. That is because my internet is down, so I'm having to rely on Liam. Yeah, the worst time for it to die, my internet. So my apologies. I'm hoping that the internet restores by the time the games come around, so that it's uploaded. But if it's late, I apologize. So last week, let's quickly recap. Liam, you had a very good week on your predictions. You managed to get score of the week. How do you feel?
Yeah, just when I thought it was over for me, I pull out 15 point Easter Monday, so I'm really happy about that. I doubled down on the Swansea result with Potnik as my scorer. I didn't get the result, but I got the scorer, so I can live with that.
Yeah, meanwhile, I only got six. I got one 3-pointer, but that Zampotnik really didn't help me. So my lead is now eight. So Liam has now cut the gap in half. So I need to have a good week. So let's get on to this week. Liam, I'm going to start with you this week. West Brom versus Millwall.
Oh dear. Uh, this could really be, as far as the table looks, a surprise. Um, I think Millwall, if they if they won on no, not Saturday, if they won on Monday, they would have had extreme momentum for a game like this. But I just, with West Brom picking up form at the right time, Millwall, dare I say, bottled it on Monday. Um, I think I'd be surprised, slightly surprised, if West Brom don't get at least a point out of this. So I'm going to just go with a 1-1.
Yeah, I think West Brom. I think they're 4 points safe at the moment, so that's definitely a little bit of a cushion for them. I don't think this is a free hit at all for West Brom. I feel like they need to get every single point they can because they're certainly still in the fight here and they could easily be dragged back in. Millwall, obviously, a disappointing performance last time around, but they're still in good position to chase for automatics. I it's a tough one to call this because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking my my head's just thinking two different outcomes, but I think this one will go narrowly in the favour of Millwall. I'm going to go 1-0 Millwall. Now, Coventry versus Sheffield Wednesday. I read the permutations not long before uh, doing this video. Coventry could be promoted this weekend if Millwall and Middlesbrough fail to win. And they play Sheffield Wednesday, so there's a very good chance they'll do their end of the bargain. But they drew last time around. Sheffield Wednesday got a point as well. Um, we'll talk about that one later. I I think they'll win comfortably, but in terms of them being promoted, not yet. I'm going to go Coventry 3, Sheffield Wednesday nil.
Yeah, Coventry could be promoted. What better chance at home to Sheffield Wednesday of all clubs? So 1-0 away with no. Uh, the thing is though, that is a possibility, and it could really be something stupid like 3-2 to Wednesday. I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that amount of goals. I'm saying 5-0, and I believe that's a repeat of the reverse fixture.
1 point for Sheffield Wednesday, and we're talking about them winning again. uh, Now, next up, we've got the East Anglian derby here, Liam. Norwich versus Ipswich.
Yeah, well, this is certainly a lot different to the one in October. Um, Norwich well beat on that day. Ipswich looking to do the double over Norwich. That's a rare sentence to say these days. Don't know. I really don't know. Because Norwich dropped the ball in the last couple of weeks. Not as consistent as they were, but the upturn in form needs to be studied because it has been incredible. Slightly too, I think a couple of weeks too late, their resurgence started. So I think their season is effectively done. But my God, they'd love to prevent Ipswich, from reaching the second place position. 1-1.
Yeah, something in my head tells me that this is a pretty big test for Ipswich. I just think, yeah, I'm going to agree. The upturn in form for Norwich is hard to ignore, to be honest, and especially with a good away win away to Millwall last time around, who were in second place. They're looking to give second place another lesson. Um, Ipswich, a very controversial win against Birmingham. That was in play, by the way. That was never out of play. So they shouldn't have won that, but they have. And I guess you could say luck is on Ipswich's side, but you can't keep getting away with those types of games. And you know what? I actually see Ipswich losing this one. Norwich 2, Ipswich 1. And now for QPR versus Bristol City. QPR last time around drew to Preston, and Bristol City last time around won again. You know what? Roy Hodgson's doing quite well for them. But I feel like QPR, of all teams, would be the team to give Roy Hodgson his first loss here. I'm going to go 2-1.
I feel like this will be just a low scoring game. Bristol City definitely not as leaky at the back under Hodgson from what we've seen so far. QPR random, very very random. I'm the I've noticed a theme. It's not been as often of late, but I've noticed a theme this season. There typically tends to be a 0-0 in the half-12 kickoffs every couple of weeks. I'm going to say this one will be goalless.
All right, and now we move to Charlton versus Preston.
Oh dear. Well, if Charlton win, I think Charlton win, they'll be roughly safe. Preston, I mean, don't really need to do anything at this point. They'll be playing Lincoln City next season. That's a given. So, yeah, I think Charlton just have something to play for. Preston don't. I want to say 0-0 again, but I think Nathan Jones won't allow a draw here. Like, let alone defeat. A draw is not good enough for him. So I'm gonna have to just hedge my bets. I think that's the wrong phrase, but I'm gonna say 1-0 to the Addicts.
Yeah, I think last time around, a good point for Chilton, don't get me wrong, but maybe a missed opportunity for them to essentially confirm their safety. But Preston is certainly a good opportunity to get a second chance. Um, I think this one will go in the favour of the Addicts as well. I'm going to go 2-1. So, a big game for both ends of the table. Middlesbrough is chasing the automatics. Portsmouth just barely above the relegation zone. Middlesbrough definitely on a bit of a downturn as of late, but they play a Portsmouth side who haven't won in 8 games. This is a game that Middlesbrough have to win if they have any chance of slipping. If they have any chance of getting into the top 2. And I think Portsmouth may look at this and think we may have a chance here because of Middlesbrough's poor form as of late. But I think Middlesbrough will have too much here. I'm going to go Middlesbrough 2, Portsmouth 0.
It's one of those where, like, with Borough, they'll get around 20 shots in this game, but it's how many of those end up in the back of the net. So if they can learn to spot the goal, then it could be an absolute demolition. But I'm not convinced they know where the back of the net is right now. So I'll just say 1-0.
All right, and now for Oxford versus Watford.
I like this one for Oxford. I fancy Oxford here. I don't think I'm going to say that too many more times for the remaining 4 games after this. I think Watford's their season's done. Let's say it. Let's be honest, it's over. Oxford most certainly not. 2-1 Oxford.
Yeah, I mean, with Oxford, you don't know, to be honest. I know, like, Watford have nothing to play for, but I just think it's classic Oxford to drop points in games that, in theory, they should be winning. Very close to winning last time around, but they just keep letting in stupid goals. And that's what I'm concerned about Oxford. At home, they don't pick up wins often enough with Oxford. And you know what? I'm going to go with another draw here. I'm going to go Oxford 1, Watford 1. And now for Sheffield United versus Hull. Hull, with a home point against Coventry, a pretty decent result. And Sheffield United ended up losing. Again, Sheffield United doesn't really have anything to play for at the moment. Hull, they do, but I think it's very difficult to say with Hull because I just think at the moment they're hit and miss. But I think on paper you'd probably back Sheffield United here, but I think I'm going to go for 2-1 Hull win.
So I am a little bit what's the word? Superstitious about this particular fixture right now. Probably still the wrong word to use, superstitious, but hey ho, I went with it anyway. So I remember this exact fixture last season. Sheffield United against Hull City finished 3-0 to the Tigers. That was completely out of nowhere. And, nobody expected Hull to go there and score, let alone win. So, with Sheffield United, second, third at the time as well. And it's kind of the opposite this time. Obviously, Sheffield United aren't fighting relegation like Hull were. But you'd expect Hull to win this one. Especially with Sheffield United's pretty poor recent form. So I'm going to flip yours 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1 Sheffield United. I just think this fixture is so, like, it just doesn't go with the script ever. So I'm going to say 2-1 to the home side.
All right, and now for Southampton versus Derby.
Oh my good God. I think this is a must-not-lose for Derby. I think Southampton can afford to draw, but a win would be spectacular. Just like the win on Tuesday, that was nothing short of phenomenal. Obviously, Wrexham like to ship goals anyway, but 5 goals is more than I was expecting from Southampton. So Derby are playing a lot better now than they were a month ago when they were 6th, which is weird. But if they defend like they did at Coventry on Good Friday, this could be a goal fest. But I think, yeah, I think it's a must not lose for Derby. It doesn't matter, but we can knock a team out of the equation in terms of Southampton. So I'm going for a Desmond here. I'm just going to try my luck. I thought about a 3-2 home win, but I'm gonna try my luck with a 2-2.
I Southampton lately has, I think their upward form, they need to be studied as well, just like Norwich. Like they've beaten Arsenal and then obviously absolutely batter a promotion playoff rival, sorry, in Wrexham. 5 goals to 1. I don't know what's gotten into them as of late, but they are showing really good form. Obviously, Derby is another playoff chaser, and Southampton, I think, will be licking their lips at this one. Um, the goals are flowing. They're getting wins left, right, and centre. Even in the FA Cup, they're in the semi-finals. They are definitely on that momentum right now, and I don't think Derby will stop that momentum. I'm going to go Southampton 3, Derby 1. Now for Stoke versus Blackburn. Stoke last time around lost against Derby. West Brom, Blackburn drew against West Brom. I think Stoke again have nothing to play for, but I think Blackburn can afford to lose one game, maybe. And I think lose a game they will. 2 goals to 1.
1-0 to Stoke. Blackburn need to stop plucking away with draws because it's not going to work if West Brom keep winning, if Leicester can win, if Pompey can win. So, yeah, 1-0 Stoke.
Speaking of Leicester, Leicester versus Swansea.
Oh, that was ages ago. Leicester are in a spot of bother. Again, I'm just going to. I know I shouldn't because it clearly means nothing at the moment with them, but I'm just gonna go with home advantage. I'm gonna say 2-1. I can't see Swansea not scoring, but I don't think Leicester will win. But I'm gonna just keep backing them, and hopefully one day I'll be right.
I just think Leicester's been very unlucky not to get a win. Like, obviously, last time it was because the ball was like an inch over the line. This time because of exceptional goalkeeping. And I just think, I, I don't know. I just think like they're allergic to doing it the easy way. They just can't seem to get a win. They always draw, and they they're just not getting the points they need. Uh, you could be, you could say it's because we're unlucky, but you know, I look at this. Yes, this is a good chance for Leicester to win, and I look at Leicester's remaining fixtures. Apart from Portsmouth, I fail to see where a game that you'd think, oh, Leicester may win. I struggle to see it. So they have to win their next two, and I think they won't win. I have a feeling they won't win this one. I'm going to go 1-0. And finally, we have Birmingham versus Wrexham. So, Birmingham, another defeat, but very controversial, as I mentioned earlier. Wrexham, absolutely battered by Southampton. It's a tough one because normally I would back Birmingham at home, but in recent games, I've not been so convinced by Birmingham, even at home. A pretty poor home defeat against Blackburn last time around. I just think they're going to lose again at home here. I'm going to go Birmingham 1, Wrexham 2.
I was thinking I was thinking comfortable Birmingham win, but you reminded me that they lost at home to Blackburn. So I'm going to sway towards the. Do I say another 2-2? Because I just don't like Wrexham's backline. Don't think it's good enough. But Birmingham's front line. Is Birmingham's front line good enough to score 2? It's in my head. 2-2, why not?
All right, and for my score of the week, Coventry are on the charge. They sense promotion is close against Sheffield Wednesday. I think they're going to have a really good one this one. And my score of the week is Jack Radoni.
Well, I tried my luck with Zan Vipotnik on Monday, or for Monday's round. I'm going to try my luck again. I'm going to sort of double down on 2 away goals for Derby, and I'm going to say, considering he's back on the score sheet, Carlton Morris.
All right, and now that is it for yet another week. We shall see you for Matchweek 43. Bye-bye.